Hi everybody, welcome to part 2 of the composting toilet. Well, it's not an experiment, but the composting toilet journey. There we go. Our new composting toilet. We've been using this toilet for about 6 or 7 weeks now. I've emptied it once already, and today I'm going to empty it again.
Smelly.
The first emptying experience wasn't great. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't great. Mostly because we didn't have the receptacle for the compost ready. And so I put the lid on the bucket, the lid comes with it, and it sat for about 3 days on the veranda in very, very hot weather. So by the time I took that lid off, whew, that was quite powerful. Curious though, because it smelt like strong fermentation. It did not smell like manure or poo, or I don't think I've quite smelled anything that strong before though. Actually no, that's a lie. I once left nettles and water in a bucket with the lid on for quite a while, and when I took the lid off, woo, that was strong. And an egg exploded on me once. That was probably the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life, yeah. This is nowhere near that. Nowhere near that at all. From 1 to 10, 10 being the worst smell you've ever smelt, this was about 5. So, okay, so how does it work? Let's look at it. Right, it looks pretty much like a normal toilet, except there's no cistern, of course, because there's no water. There is a fan. Don't know if you can hear that, it's not terribly loud at all. Now, for our version, we have connected a pipe to the urinal bit, which is this bit with the little blue thing in there, and that pipe takes the urine out and into a tank. Under this section here is where the solid waste goes, and you only get to see that, well, you don't get to see it. When you sit down, that cover moves out of the way. Voila! And that is a little bit alarming to start with. When you sit on the seat, clunk. Takes a bit of getting used to. There it goes again. Now, as per the little sign, gentlemen cannot stand up, because literally you just couldn't aim in there properly, and the idea is to try and not get liquid into this section. So everybody sits down. The Separret, the great leveler, everybody has to sit. Now, there are gentlemen who do not wish to sit down. We have a lot of trees. Guests are welcome to go out and sprinkle behind one of the olives. There's 200 of them, take your pick. What I was not prepared for was that I would have issues using the toilet. Now, how do I explain this delicately? Because of female anatomy, keeping solid and liquid waste apart is not always easy. And I believe as you get older, it gets worse. So a young person, and we haven't had a young person here yet to try it out, but a young person may well manage much, much better. So I had a lot of difficulty using it to start with keeping the solid waste dry. So I bought myself a funnel. It comes in a little bag. It's what we used to call a sheepie. I don't know if they're still called that. It's a little funnel. It's designed so that ladies can go to the toilet standing up at a festival or an outdoor event, or indeed I could go and use the tree just like the men. And that's an interesting experience. But yeah, let's not get into that. So anyway, that's fine. That works 99% of the time. That works absolutely fine. We won't talk about the 1%. You don't want to hear about that. All I can say is thank goodness it was my own bathroom. But to put it in perspective, a small amount of liquid in with the solid waste, it's not desirable, but it's not the end of the world. So, after using the urinal section, the manufacturers recommend that you put a cup of water down. Well, instead of using a cup, we have this. Which works very well. Okay, so I can happily say that during use, there is no smell. There has been occasionally a slight cabbage smell, which is clearly coming out the drains from the tank. We still have not changed the tank over. What we want the tank to do, well, we don't want to have a tank. We want the pipe to empty into a flower bed or vines or something like that, and we just haven't got round to it. And it might actually be autumn before we get round to doing that. So far, even with the warm weather, the cabbage smell has not been strong enough or upsetting enough to make it urgent. So yeah, altogether the toilet is a big success as far as I'm concerned. I would also like to say that Separret, the people who make this, are not paying for or sponsoring this video in any way. I wish. Yeah, I don't have enough subscribers to get any kind of sponsorship deal. We do still have a flushing toilet in the house. It's upstairs. We don't use it. Right, let's get on and change this bucket. Again, cabbage. It doesn't smell of anything other than cabbage. Oh, there's a filter on here which you're supposed to rinse. Well, I better do that. Okay, new bucket goes in. We're finding that these last us about 2 weeks, just over. I use a little vinegar to give everything a wipe round. Okay. The reason I used the stick was I wasn't sure if there would have been wasps under there. I don't think we're going to bother putting that back on, just in case. Okay, let me go get the bucket. At the moment, no smell. Still no smell. Now, these are olive clippings. Which I meant to put in the last time, but I was so surprised at the smell the last time I completely forgot. That was no problem at all. Okay, on the smell scale, 1 being no smell at all and 10 being a very bad smell, 3, maybe 2. That's a result. We are going to need a second big compost bin like that because once that one is full, the lid goes on and it gets put aside and left for at least a year before the compost is taken out. The opening's a bit smaller than the base, so taking the compost out might not be that easy either, but we won't know. We won't know for a while. Yeah, that was dead easy. There's a little bit of vinegar in there. The only hard thing about the whole process was me trying to film it while I was doing it and not having Steve here to help. Is that the final word on the compost loo? I think so, pretty much. There's been far too much poo talk and focusing on things I'd rather not focus on recently, but yeah, there will be another test. Our grandchildren are coming to visit again very shortly. It's the summer holidays, and so there will be increased traffic on the toilet, and we'll see. It'll just need emptying more frequently, I would think. Okay, as per usual, And I promise it's not all about toilets and poo. Hit the like button, subscribe, and check back next week for whatever topic's next. Not sure about that.